It's frankly baffling how Boeing hasn't yet responded to A321XLR gaining such a significant market share. Especially that the company created the Boeing 757, a highly valued workhorse for airlines that serve transatlantic and mid-market routes. Yet the remarkable success of the A321XLR, with its advanced efficiency and extended range, has sparked renewed debate. Should Boeing revive and upgrade the legendary 757 into a modern 757 MAX to reclaim the mid-market crown, or is it time for an entirely new approach? Let's take a look. Introduced in 1983 as a narrow-body successor to the triple-engine 727, the Boeing 757 quickly earned a reputation as the sports car of the skies. Featuring innovative technologies such as early EFIS screens, roomy cockpits, and powerful underwing turbofan engines, the 757 delivered exceptional takeoff performance and agility. Its high thrust and unique wing design allowed it to operate out of challenging airports with short runways or high elevations, capabilities that opened up a then overlooked mid-market segment. The enduring success of the 757 highlighted a critical segment in aviation, a mid-market category where aircraft were expected to efficiently carry around 200 to 240 passengers over transatlantic and other long, thin routes. However, as the industry evolved, so did the requirements for efficiency, environmental standards, and overall cost of operation. Newer single-aisle aircraft, especially the Airbus A320 family and its more extended variants, such as the A321LR and A321XLR, began to capture airline orders with higher fuel efficiency and lower operating costs, despite their slightly different range and capacity profiles. With airlines like Delta Airlines actively seeking modern solutions to fill this capability gap, Boeing has long faced the challenge of providing an aircraft that can bridge the legacy of the aging 757 with contemporary market demands. Given the enduring popularity of the 757, a natural question arises. If these planes still command a premium in the market, why not simply update the existing design? In several discussions and industry analyses, the idea of a 757 MAX has emerged, an upgraded version featuring new wings, re-engineered systems, and more fuel-efficient power plants. Proponents of this approach argue that by modernizing the venerable airframe, Boeing could quickly reintroduce an aircraft tailored for the mid-market, one that builds on the 757's known strengths while addressing its outdated technologies. Historically, Boeing considered a 757 update back in the 1990s. Evaluations even involved investigating a smaller variant and a re-winged, re-engined solution. The reasoning was compelling. The 757 boasted superior range and takeoff performance compared to many single-aisle competitors, and its inherent versatility made it a prime candidate for such an upgrade. Despite the attractive concept, transforming the 757 into a competitive modern aircraft presents formidable challenges. The first are the tooling and production issues. Boeing halted production of the 757 in 2004. Over nearly 2 decades, the original manufacturing toolings, jigs, and supplier certifications have largely been dismantled or repurposed. Restarting production would not only require re-establishing a complex supply chain, but might also necessitate an investment of billions of dollars. Next problem, engines. For a 757 MAX to be viable, it must incorporate engines that enhance fuel efficiency while still providing the robust performance the aircraft is known for. However, current engine options pose significant challenges. Engines such as the General Electric GEX, used on the 787 and 7478, are too large for the 757's wing. The CFM LEAP family, while physically a good match, may not generate the required thrust. Alternatives from Pratt & Whitney, or even the forthcoming Rolls-Royce Ultrafan, are either similarly mismatched or too underdeveloped for integration. Wings would also pose a serious issue. Modern aerodynamic requirements might compel Boeing to design an entirely new composite wing for improved efficiency. Although Boeing has experience with composite wings, adapting these technologies for an old airframe is a costly and time-consuming. Finally, a new or updated 757 would inevitably be more expensive than modern single-aisle aircraft, partly due to its larger engines, heavy-duty landing gear, and the complex retrofitting needed. As historical pricing indicates, where the 757-200 commanded a list price significantly higher than its Airbus A321 counterparts, Boeing would risk pricing itself out of a highly competitive market if it could not offer cost advantages. Airbus has long demonstrated an agility in the mid-market segment. The A321XLR have captured significant market share by offering a blend of efficiency, range, and lower operating costs. Even if Boeing were to launch a 757 MAX, Airbus's capacity to roll out enhanced variants swiftly would likely diminish the competitive advantage a modernized 757 could bring. Moreover, airlines such as Delta have already turned to Airbus when Boeing's new mid-sized aircraft, or shortly NMA project, once seen as Boeing's potential clean sheet replacement, was frozen following the 737 MAX crisis and the onset of the pandemic. Boeing has historically been forced to make difficult strategic decisions: upgrade the legacy 757 or revamp the older 737 to meet evolving market needs. In the 1990s, with the rise of the highly efficient Airbus A320, Boeing redirected efforts toward redesigning the 737, which eventually led to the immensely successful 737 Next Generation series and later the 737 MAX. While a re-engined and re-winged 757 might have seemed like the obvious choice to fill the mid-market gap, the economic realities and the massive upfront investment required made it less attractive. Adding to the mix, recruitment of new engineering talent and collaboration with suppliers in earlier design phases, as demonstrated in projects like the T-7A Red Hawk military trainer, indicate that Boeing is actively preparing for a future where it might once again redefine market segments. Yet the challenge remains whether to reintroduce an updated version of the 757 or commit to a clean sheet design that addresses the competitive pressures posed by Airbus. The Boeing 757's legacy is a story of performance, versatility, and unexpectedly enduring popularity. Despite being an old dog in a rapidly modernizing industry, the 757 still serves as a benchmark for mid-market performance. The idea of a 757 MAX, a modernized, re-engined, and re-winged version of the classic, has repeatedly surfaced as a potential solution to fill the mid-market gap. However, significant challenges such as the loss of production tooling, engine mismatches, the high costs of retrofitting, and stiff competition from Airbus's agile product updates have made the proposition extremely complex. Ultimately, while Boeing did flirt with the idea of reviving the 757 in the past, market conditions and strategic priorities pushed the company toward upgrading the 737 and, more recently, exploring an entirely new mid-market aircraft. Whether Boeing ever returns to its 757 roots in a modernized form remains an open question, one that will depend on advances in engine and manufacturing technologies as well as the evolving competitive landscape. What do you think? Should Boeing have pursued a 757 MAX, or would a new clean sheet design better serve the future of mid-market air travel? Write your opinion in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel.